to Ridgeview Charter School. I'm Dr. Sanders, the assistant principal. And as we come to the building here, any of our guests or visitors that come, one thing they have to do is check in. And so we have a dual security system with the cameras and everything. We have video where we can see and identify who is at the door. And so what we typically do when you come, you have to push this button here to be buzzed in by our secretary. Now our secretary, she will ask you your name and the reason for your coming today. This is Dr. Sanders. I'm here to see Principal Williams. And once she does, we are identified, she will buzz us in and we'll come on in the building. Hello there, Principal Williams. You have some company.
Well, welcome to Ridgeview Charter School. We are a K-8 school located in Gastonia, North Carolina. Our address is 207 West Bradley Street, not far from downtown Gastonia. We have been here for the fall of 2019 when we were approved as a charter school by the state. The building is interesting. We are housed in a family life center that is owned by a local church. This building originally was built as a private school for the church, so we were lucky to find it. It has a beautiful gymnasium, ready-made classrooms, and the resources that most new charter schools would not have. Right now we're leasing it with the possibility of something more long-term. And as we continue to grow, we're looking to add on our middle school and really populate some of the land in the area that is owned by the city so that we can provide for this community a world-class education. My background in education has taken me all across the United States and to Europe, studying school reform. So I bring to the school a plethora of information I've gathered over the years. We start with what we call the international curriculum. That is the framework. It is the curriculum that is used in traditional IB schools in the United States. However, it is used all across the world in every successful school system. The international curriculum provides us with a framework where we can take any textbooks that we're using for language arts or math and apply it on an international level. It also provides for my students and staff the opportunity to talk with teachers and students in other countries. So as we roll out this program, students will get to a point where they can, for lack of better words, have a pen pal in another country and learn how they recycle material or do different things that they find in their textbooks. This will bring the world into our classroom. Students will learn other people, learn other cultures, and at the same time, we're offering foreign languages as well. So we have, this fall, we're starting with Mandarin and Japanese. We're also bringing in French, Spanish, and hopefully German to the school so that by the end of their career here, they're fluent in one of those languages. As far as supplemental material to the textbooks that complement our international curriculum, we're using some very common online sources such as IXL and Learning A to Z, which are very friendly to our elementary students and helping them really synthesize the math and reading that we're presenting to them. Now, many times people ask us, are we STEM or STEAM? My personal philosophy is that students, especially elementary age, should not be forced to choose. So we are providing students with a very strong, well-rounded education that includes science, technology, engineering, math, very strong language arts, and foreign languages, so that students will be able to matriculate into a high school level. And even if they're not sure what they want to do for the rest of their life, they know what they don't want to do because they've been exposed to everything at a level of expertise and excellence that I demand from my staff. So let me introduce you to our staff. Today we have Ms. Sanders, one of our kindergarten teachers.
Hi, Come on into my classroom. A typical day in my classroom is the kids come in, they put their stuff away. We like to make sure that they have a warm and safe environment to enter into. So I like to create an ambiance where they feel safe. They put their things away and then they go to their assigned seating. We start the day off with ELA. We'll go through our sight words and then we'll move into specials. So after specials, they come back, we get ready for lunch, we wash our hands and we go on to lunch. After lunch, we have math, is where all my kids love. So we have math and after math, we go through science and social studies and we round out the day with recess. I like to give a lot of project-based learning for them to work collaboratively with their parents at home. So they work with their parents, they bring their projects in and they get to display them on the wall for everyone to see that enters the school. As far as math goes, we also do small groups for math. Where they are able to play with manipulatives and be able to really hone in on those skills that I've taught, but they get to put it in action and do it themselves. So one of my goals as a teacher is to have early readers. So we do small groups and I separate the kids by their levels. Kids who need a little extra help, I can be there to help and guide them. And kids who are stronger, I let them kind of work collaboratively with their partners at their table. One of my biggest goals is to produce readers early as kindergarten to where they'll have success and longevity throughout their academic career. Foreign languages, we focus on 2 foreign languages. It's Spanish, beginning Spanish, and sign language. So we like to teach our kids how to do commands in both Spanish and in sign language, and also do our alphabet, the same things that they would be learning in the English language. We like to be able to teach them that in Spanish and in sign language. I love kids. I love to see their faces light up when they get it, and being an active participant in the academic process. I really enjoy that. So I know a lot of our parents are concerned about security. So in our school, all throughout the halls, we have state-of-the-art security with cameras looking both ways and rotating. We are now in Ms. Miller's class. It's Ms. Miller.
Welcome to my class. Come on in. One of the other things that we did was we made large posters for our yard, our doors, just to encourage people, you know, when they walked by or if they were driving by, they were able to see our signage and just be encouraged by what we had to say. So this was relative to something that we learned. We learned about, of course, this had to do with our character ed piece, which was kindness, being able to show kindness. So we made these posters to express more of what we were saying, to go along with what we were doing. Usually it starts with someone reading to them and then them coming to understand what's being read. But the most fun thing is when you see a child who starts to read all by himself. That for me is like the bud of a flower opening up, and it just really warms my heart to be able to watch a scholar read and they understand what they're reading. I cannot tell you, I think that's one of the reasons why I love being an educator, is just to see the light bulb go off in a child's head and to be able to understand it. I've been teaching now for the past 25 years, and I've seen pretty much a little bit of all kids. And one thing that I have learned is that no 2 children will learn the same. No 2 scholars are the same. And so when we come into the classroom as educators, we can't come in with our one-size-fit-all, you know, style of teaching. We've got to be able to differentiate that instruction to match the child's learning. If sometimes I will start off with reading or math, doesn't really matter. I could start off with a whole group. And for an example, I'm sitting at a table that I love to sit because these are some of my scholars who I would sit with, and I would have to differentiate the instruction. We started off everybody together, And now I pull that small group and I just break it down into bite-sized pieces for them, kind of like babies, sort of, you know? Wherein some children could eat the whole thing, you'd have to cut it up just a little bit more into chunking pieces for them so that they were able to get it. I can teach a scholar to read. I've given him the whole world because it's like it unlocks. I've taught him math. I've taught him science, I've taught him social studies because it's gonna all make sense. They can understand. And when a child can understand what they've read, that's half the battle right there. I'd like to introduce you to Miss Dunlap now, and she is one of our awesome teachers also at Ridgeview Charter.
Hi, my name is Jessica Dunlap. I am a third grade teacher here at Ridgeview Charter. Come on in my classroom. A typical day in Ms. Dunlap's class is the students come right outside of my door and they line up, and I greet them all individually as they come into the room. Sometimes it's a high five, sometimes it's a handshake, sometimes it's a bump, but everybody knows they're welcome in. Upon entering the classroom, the students will look up on the board and they will see a morning routine. They know that they need to unpack their backpacks and get all of the materials for the day. After that, they know they need to put their homework in the basket and sharpen all pencils before starting their morning activity, which is always listed up on the board. A normal morning activity would be maybe a math or a reading activity that engages them and gets their brain started on thinking about what we're going to be studying that day. At this point in math, we are really getting to those analytical skills. We're taking what we're learning and we're stretching and synthesizing so that they can understand and grasp deeper understanding of number concepts and breaking apart numbers in a different way. At this point, we are working on fractions, multiplication, perimeter, and area to get a deeper understanding of those concepts. What I like most about teaching is that it's a challenge. You have a room full of students that come from different places, they have different knowledge, and you get to put them all in one room and you get to give them the knowledge that they need, and you see how they take it in and regurgitate it back out. So one of my favorite and most exciting things about teaching is getting to see a child come in and sometimes be excited, be nervous, but at the end they grasp the concept and they're able to grow. Whether they start off a little bit behind or a little ahead, you see so much growth, and I'm one that loves to see growth. I can tell when a student gets it because I can see the look in their eyes. Their excitement changes about what they have learned and what they have grasped. So that is the most exciting thing, and it's also one thing that lets me know that they got it. When someone gets something, they get excited about it. So you see the excitement in their eyes. Learning is amazing, but there are other ways of learning. Sometimes we need to learn how to move around and get very active. So I'm going to take you to the gym so you can see how we really get active.